News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
It's family versus family in civil court. Good morning, everyone. This is Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day. On the top of the morning to you. For 2015, cloudy, 42 degrees in Missoula right now. We're expecting a little bit of rain today, 70% chance. And our newscast, I should say this particular newscast, is sponsored by Dig It Excavating, where they bring 30 years of excavation excellence to every job. Give them a call at 214-4292. While Markus Kaarma is serving a 70-year prison sentence for deliberate homicide after being convicted in the shotgun killing of Deer and Day, the slain teen's family is pursuing civil damages from the Kaarmas. David Paoli, the Missoula attorney representing the Day family, described the reasons for the civil suit.
The nature of the case is that it's a wrongful death survival claim, making claim for the injuries and losses occasioned by the death of Deer and Day.
Paoli clarifies the difference between a criminal and a civil proceeding.
For money damages to compensate the family, the parents, and Deeran's two young sisters for the loss and for the care, comfort, and companionship that he would have provided to them and did provide to them throughout the years.
In the latest court document, Janelle Flager states that Deer and Day, quote, assumed any and all risks associated with entering the garage at the Kaarma residence, end quote. Flager also repeated the assertion filed in district court that extensive media coverage of the trial prejudiced the potential jury pool, asking again that the venue be changed. She, along with Kaarma, demand a trial by jury on all those civil issues. The Lincoln County Attorney's Office has asked the State Attorney General's office to review an investigation into a December shooting death in Libby. Sheriff Robbie Bowe said Lois K. Olbeckson called police shortly after 10 p.m. December 26 to report she just shot her son-in-law, Michael Leonard Roloff, after he threatened her. Deputies found Roloff lying in the driveway of Olbeckson's residence. He was pronounced dead at the hospital a short time later. Officials have released very little information about that shooting. Department of Justice spokesman John Barnes says the agency's Prosecution Services Bureau reviews about 100 cases annually at the request of local prosecutors. A 28-year-old Wyola man has died after being struck by a vehicle while walking along I-90 north of Crow Agency on the Crow Indian Reservation. Bighorn County Coroner Terry Bullis told the Billings Gazette that Terrell Huggs died of injuries to his neck and chest, suffered in the collision at about 10:20 Saturday night. The Bureau of Indian Affairs and the FBI are still investigating the circumstances surrounding Huggs' death. Missoula County Coroner has released the cause of death in a Missoula County Jail inmate that occurred early Sunday morning. Under Sheriff Jason Johnson has more.
This morning we learned from the medical examiner's office that this gentleman had passed away due to natural causes, and it was directly related to his heart condition. We're also able to release his name now that we've been able to communicate with family. So his name is Brian Boker. He was born in 1961.
According to the Missoula County Jail rosters we mentioned yesterday, Bowker was arrested in October of last year on charges of criminal endangerment and aggravated DUI. A GOP-led House panel considering the Democratic governor's infrastructure plan allowed about 80 people to testify in support of the measure, while no one testified in opposition. The House Appropriations Committee did not take any immediate action on House Bill 5 yesterday. Committee Chair Nancy Balance of Hamilton previously called the proposal irresponsible and opposed the amount of bonding involved. About $212 million of Governor Bullock's $391 million proposal would use bonding to pay for projects including upgrades to sewer and drinking water systems and school maintenance, from asbestos removal to new heating systems. Supporters say the projects on the list are critical and would be a good investment. Republicans have countered the plan with 7 different bills addressing infrastructure that leave out 149 projects included in the governor's plan. According to City Lake volunteer firefighter Sean Ellinghaus, a man has finally been apprehended for stealing Ellinghaus's truck and gear during the Scott Stair Climb competition in Seattle. Ellinghaus gave this report yesterday.
Seattle Police Department called me at 8:30 this morning and said they arrested a suspect, and I have not heard any more about that. Just from the picture that I saw, it was a male. The officer at the time asked me not to give out his name until he does more investigation into it.
Ellinghaus says he believes social media helped apprehend the suspect after photos were posted online in Seattle. Police are investigating if any more of Ellinghaus's valuables might be in that suspect's possession. Just in time for St. Patrick's Day, RecoveryFind.com has released a new study on the U.S. states that drink the most. Now, according to the study, Montanans outguzzle most states with the most breweries per capita, the second most bars and liquor stores per capita, and the seventh highest rate of binge drinking in America. Coordinator for the Missoula Forum for Children and Youth, Steve Schmidt, says Montana drinkers need to be responsible.
Set the example. Understand that your kids are watching, and more stuff is caught than taught, I believe, when it comes to kids. And if we want to break this cycle, I think we really need to be the example, which means no drinking and driving. And if you do consume alcohol of any nature, make sure you do it responsibly and in moderation.
Schmidt has seen firsthand as a former police officer the horrible results of drinking and driving.
I'm a former police officer, and it only took me one time to help pull a lifeless young body out of a car for it to be enough. I think we just really need to think about our community as a whole and understand that our kids are watching. Our kids are going to do what we do, and if we don't set that example and if we don't keep them in mind at all times, then the cycle is just going to repeat itself.
Schmidt stressed the importance of planning for a safe ride home for all drinkers and to have a contingency plan. Montana gas prices keep going up, but petroleum analyst Patrick Dehan says lower prices are just around the corner.
Prices nationally have begun to slow back down. Montana prices continue to inch forward. Montana's average in the last week has only risen about 3 cents a gallon, currently stands at $2.22. That's $1 a gallon less than where prices were a year ago.
Gas prices this summer could be the cheapest we've seen in a long time.
We're all seeing the added cost at the pump of summer gasoline. But once that maintenance is done and once that transition to those summer blends are over, we likely will see the cheapest summer at the pump since 2010. So the future bodes well, even though the immediate next few weeks may have some volatility at the pump.
Dehan says lower crude oil prices are the result of an economic downturn worldwide and are particularly driven by a slowdown in crude oil demand by China. And finally, bicyclists now are able to ride across part of Yellowstone Park for the first time this year. The roads between the West Entrance and Mammoth Hot Springs are now plowed. On Monday, the route opened to non-motorized travel. Our News Talk time now is 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies today with scattered showers. Winds will be breezy with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Rain likely tonight with our lows dipping into the mid-30s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.